sellout crowd at Hilton Coliseum in Ames as Phillips 66 presents Big 12 basketball.
But again, they have plenty of players on the bench that can play well also.
Stephen, you mentioned ball control for Morris. How about that? He played the entire game against Oklahoma State without a turnover.
And that's big, particularly when you have a freshman doing that. You've got to take care of the rock.
Boy, if Dustin Hogue hits threes for you.
TCU is going to be playing in zone primarily for the whole game, and it's more because of the lack of numbers that they have. Really don't have a lot of players on the bench. Want to keep the guys on the court fresh as long as they can.
Good extra pass. That was a good look for Morris inside to Ejim.
You have one of the better teams in the country as far as assisting, but injuries to key players.
Only 4 of their 16 players this year for TCU have played in every game.
And that speaks to continuity. You don't have the same type of chemistry when you don't have the same players on the floor to get used to each other.
Are ahead. Now shooting for the Cyclones is Dustin Hogue, another one of those transfer students. The Cyclones do such a good job. Fred Hoiberg may be the rehab specialist in the country. And not that Hogue needed to be rehabbed, but certainly DeAndre Kane did. And Kane comes in I don't think there's a newcomer that has made a bigger impact on a program than DeAndre Kane.
Not in the Big 12 and not this year. I mean, he's come in and instantly put his imprint on this basketball team. He was very ineffective as a whole. And so not only can he affect games on the offensive side, but he gave himself up for his team defensively, and that's leadership right there, Dave.
And now there's your center, Melvin Ejim, going out for 3.
It really is interesting. We were talking about it before the game, but really 2 players that are in that MVP race. That really speaks to Fred Hoiberg. He believes so much in his basketball players that you know that he told him, go in there and knock down the shot. But Naz Long went in there, threw it, tried to get a good shot, and he did.
Instead, it's taken by Thomas. Long tries another 3. Got that one. They love to shoot the threes in transition. Long 3. Oh, great range from Matt Thomas.
You know, Matt Thomas, that middle is open. He ain't getting the ball. He's such a good facilitator. They love to run their offense towards the end.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Good rebound by Ejim. And tough.
You know, he's such a relentless two-point area every night, so you know on each given night what you're going to get from Melvin Ejim.
Yeah, that's Mr. Consistency, isn't it? And he'll go to the line here.
And so competitive in the middle right now in the Big 12.
And the other line to draw is the top 6 teams, because the bottom 4 have to play on that first day of the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship.
And that's very important because you can sit back, you can kind of game plan, but most importantly, you can get rest. And at the end of the season, there's nothing more important for a player is rest.
I'm going to make a prediction. Melvin Ejim will have a new career high after today. His previous career high, 23. He has scored 22 5 times.
TCU has to try to make inroads in this game as in transition before the defense of Iowa State sets up.
Oh, wow. The lob inside from Niang.
And that's a design play.
Almost too much time for Amrit Fields to set up for that one. Oh, good look. What a baseline pass from Matt Thomas to Melvin Ejim, and a timeout for the Horned Frogs.
You know, Dave, that's what Melvin Ejim primarily was his first 2 years, broken play players. And you're looking at this last play and watch the drive by Matt Thomas. And there's Melvin Ejim on the baseline making himself available. First 2 years, that was all he got his look from. Now he's able to create for his teammates. But Melvin Ejim, one of the better players in the Big 12 at scoring down on the block.
I really thought Matt Thomas was going to be trapped in the corner. Instead, they turn it into a couple of points for Melvin Ejim. Hey, we invite you to log on to Big12sports.com/CTB. Check out the Big 12 Network announcer blogs covering the baseline. And this week, Mark Neely takes a look back at the first half of the season.
Your closeout defense against Iowa State has to be on point. Any number of them can knock it down from three, as you've seen in this game already. And if you get out on them, you still have to be wary of the interior.
There's the interior. Wow!
You saw DeAndre Kane splitting the defense, and again, each time the basketball goes through the middle, the bigs of Iowa State knows to cut
to the Cyclones and to Melvin Ejim. 10 straight points for this senior from Toronto, and a lot of them of this variety. Thanks a lot, Doug. Here in Ames, it's Iowa State leading at 29-16. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. And Melvin Ejim has been special. He's already in double figures with 15 points. He has 7 rebounds. He has now been in double figures in 24 straight games. He is Mr. Consistency.
He really is. But what's important is how he's gotten a lot of his points, and that's through assists. Right now, Iowa State has 10 assists on 11 made field goals. Normally, they assist on 6.
That's 8.
And I think that's one of the things, though, that TCU and Kean Anderson needs to attack more is the rim, because Iowa State really doesn't have a rim protector. They don't block a lot of shots either.
Yang just says, all right, I'll just hit a 3. Why not? And they've doubled the score now, the Horned Frogs. 9 straight points, 15 points, 9 rebounds in the first half. And that's the way the first half comes to a close. Well, the back-to-back threes by Kean Anderson helped, but Melvin Ejim was just too special. 15 points, 9 rebounds for Ejim. And it's a 10-point Iowa State lead as we get you to Doug Bell in Studio 6.
Just the tempo from the get-go, played well today.
Hey, check out the Cyclones. Up and under. 23 is his career high.
Ejim, and it's Iowa State with the ball first, leading it by 10, and Kane goes right to the hoop where he is fouled. A foul on Parrish.
TCU, 8 assists and 7 turnovers, so you're basically negating those assists. But Iowa State doing everything they have to do at home to win this basketball game.
The other thing, Iowa State dominating the glass in this contest. That's the first point for DeAndre Kane.
And this is the first time this year that he's been held scoreless in that first half, and it was going to be interesting for me to see how aggressive he was going to be offensively, and you saw the first possession.
So you look at that, starts playing with that splint. It seems like everybody for the Horned Frogs has something wrong with them.
Well, at this point of the year, even Iowa State, I guarantee you there's no one on the team for them that doesn't have some sort of bruise or malady afflicted.
Look at that little move by George Niang.
What I love about Niang is you look at before the game, ask him how he likes to play on the post, and he likes to field the defensive player, and that allows him to really maneuver. No one better in the Big 12 at footwork, and you saw it right there. Nice spin move through the baseline, going away from the defense.
So what do you mean by he feels the defensive player?
Well, looking at this last play, he just spots up for 3. Nice pump fake. You have to respect his shot, and then able to put it on the bounce and attack the rim. But when I say he likes to feel the player, when they're guarding him defensively, when he's pounding the ball in, he feels the player defending him, and if he doesn't feel him, he faces up. He has the ability to knock down the 15-foot jump shot.
Niang on the year, a 79% free throw shooter. 5 points, 4 rebounds so far in this contest.
Whenever you have a player like Niang.
Actually, we're tied with the Longhorns with a little over 3 minutes to go in that game the other night. Just couldn't close out.
Parrish has been struggling during conference play from 3, only 6 for 21, 29%. He's a guy that has to be a constant, consistent shooter for them to really stay in games in Big 12 play.
2 more for Ejim. He's got 17.
Did you tell him what you said?
I did to this year. Little pick and roll. Oldest move in the book. And a foul here on Copley.
Because you're creating extra possessions. And the coaching staff, they rave about Hogue and his basketball IQ, really saying that he probably has the highest basketball IQ on the whole team.
Niang misses 2 free throws, and then TCU a silly turnover. It's one of those unforced mistakes that you just can't make, and causes Trent Johnson to pace the sidelines.
I might as well just sit down because there's nothing that I can do. That's what he's thinking. But yeah, there's nothing that frustrates a coach more than an unforced turnover. And really, that's what TCU didn't do against Texas, and that's what allowed them to stay in the game.
How about that little play? Niang to Ejim again, who's now got 19. Remember, I made this bold prediction. Another turnover for TCU, and Melvin Ejim picking up where he left off from the first half. We're back after this from our friends at Phillips 66. But if so, he probably achieved it after this triple overtime victory on Monday against Oklahoma State. First win for Iowa State in Stillwater since 1988.
Oh, no, it's not good.
So Iowa State in the second overtime. Big shot here by Naz Long to send it into the third overtime. And a huge shot here by Monte Morris. And then at the buzzer, no good. And it's Iowa State winning by 1 in triple overtime. And what a
getting that in and out action.
Shot clock down to 7. Morris drives in. Nice play.
And that's what I like when you see one of the benefits of having a big guard like DeAndre Kane able to get up and get the defensive rebound and push it in transition, averaging 6 rebounds a game.
Three-pointer, how about that? The freshman steps up with a drive to the basket and then a 3.
Well, Monte Morris is playing with the
Ejim with another rebound.
They got numbers.
Oh boy, do they ever! Wow! So Melvin Ejim, coast to coast. He gets the rebound and finishes at the other end. Yet another double-double, his 8th of the year. Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa, where the Cyclones are starting to pull away now from TCU after the Horned Frogs got within 8. Melvin Ejim has just been unbelievable. 21 points, 11 rebounds. His 8th double-double this year, 30th of his career. And yet again over 20 points. And as you mentioned, Stephen, he has just been so consistent. A guy that averages 18, but hasn't scored more than 22 anytime this year.
Well, that's really what he has to do. I mean, he's the only player for TCU that can create for himself off the dribble.
And there's Niang the passer. Ejim with his 12th rebound.
And I think that's where you see Amric Fields not being 100% yet, probably still around 65, 70% after that injury from last year that he sustained. But next year, when he's at 100%, they have their full complement of players. It's going to be a different story for TCU.
Guess what? Melvin Ejim has just tied his career high. Don't miss this, folks. When we come back, he'll go to the line for a new career high. What a day for Melvin Ejim.
And he's done a great job of taking what the defense gives him. That great design play that they've exploited many times, the backdoor lob, and then just being around the rim. And Melvin Ejim only missed 3 shots today, 10 for 13. What's really impressed me is the fact that he's doing it on the glass as well, leading rebounder on both teams with 12, 3 offensive. But that's what you want your leader to be, and I think what's important about Melvin Ejim is when he was a freshman, he had so far to go, nowhere near where he is right now. And he's a person right now that not only can he score himself, but facilitate for his players, something that he couldn't do as a freshman.
Do you think he had any idea the amount of pressure, the immense pressure? Iowa State will be in the bonus. Kane again. Again, he feels that matchup with Michael Williams on his hip. Kane's on, it seems like, everybody's watch list. The Wooden watch list, which we told you about earlier, the Oscar Robertson watch list, and the Bob Cousy watch list. And right now, your front runner for Player of the Year in the Big 12.
Yeah, he's played amazing, and what makes it more astounding is the fact that this is his first year here. He's a senior, last go-around, but he's done everything he needs to do for the Cyclones all year long.
We go back to the line again.
And this is where DeAndre Kane is so special in isolation plays. He has the ability to go on the bounce. He's improved his jump shot, but I think where he's most effective is down on the block, which for a point guard it's so difficult for the opposing point guard to defend somebody that big down on the block. And he uses that to his advantage.
Well, he's just filled up the stat sheet. He's averaging 16.5 points, which is 7th best in the league. He's averaging even better than that in league play only, almost 19 points a game. He's averaging almost 7 rebounds. Iowa State, who led by 16 early, is now just ahead by 7, and there's contact inside. This foul is on Shepard, and it's his 3rd.
High basketball IQ. Knows the officials are looking at him, creates some contact, gets the call to go his way.
Stephen, here's what he's done in his last 5 games in the game. He's averaged 21 points and 5 assists. Plus, he's hit 50% of his three-pointers. Before he fouled out against Oklahoma State, he had 17 points against the Cowboys on Monday. A whistle and a rebound. And guess what? Another foul, too, and that's 4 now. And Trent Johnson looks down his bench and says, oh, man, we can't lose the big fella, but I think he has for a while. 4 fouls on Kavar Shepard, and yet another rebound for Ejim, which makes 14 of those for him.
That's what you call a freshman mistake. If he was in the league, it'd be a rookie mistake. And just watch Melvin Ejim. He just is first, and he uses his balance to go around Shepard. Because he's got the quickness, he fakes the inside move and then makes the outside move, and that's something that he's just going to have to learn with experience. His teammates are stepping up to roll with him, kind of built that tempo.
Ejim, a 3. Almost he could sense that Iowa State needed that, and the senior steps up.
And that was a smart move by really with the spot-up jump shot. They were able to knock it down.
Good move by Fields. No. Here comes Kane. Morris spots up for 3. No. Ejim. Wow, what a game.
And that's Melvin Ejim's game. He's a hard worker. First 2 years, he was much like Dustin Hogue. He was a guy that broken play player, getting his offense off the glass. Now he's a guy that you have to game plan for, stepping into a shot, a nice 3-point shot, and now never giving up on the play, tracking the ball down, always had a knack for the ball. Big 12's leading rebounder last year, showing that ability down the stretch, really doing everything for the Cyclones to keep the lead in this very important game.
Look at that line. 31 points on 12 of 15 from the field, including 2 of 2 from three-point range, and 5 of 5 from the line. And with those 15 rebounds, now just 1 away from a new career high in that category as well.
When you're the scoring leader in the Big 12, that's one thing, but when you're not a volume scorer, that's something that other players can respect, and doing that with minimal shots today. And that's the player that you wanted shooting it, but that's not the end result that you wanted. I think what was important about that play is DeAndre Kane threw that lob from half court. And not too many players in the country can make that lob play from half court.
Actually caused the Iowa State player to be out of bounds, but Melvin Ejim, a career day in Ames. And we're back after this from our friends at Philadelphia. Thanks, Doug. West Virginia, they've won 3 in a row, giving Kansas all they can handle today at Allen Fieldhouse. If the Jayhawks win today, they'd have a 2-game lead past the halfway point in the conference. And of course, only 1 in double figures for Iowa State, but it's that one. Now, is that a basket for Kane? I think it is.
Actually, Ejim caught that, but you saw the quick recognition of Iowa State. No rim protector without Kavar Shepard. Trent Johnson quickly told Kavar to get back in the game. But that's what Fred Hoiberg and Iowa State does. They exploit the mismatch. Nobody inside to deter the offense from going through it, and they just attack that weak spot.
All right, let's see. Ejim, I think he does touch it. They've given him the basket. Yeah, he does. He definitely deflects that basket in, and that's 35 for Melvin Ejim. So he had that ceiling of 23 points, actually 22 this year, where he had scored that 5 times this season. He's just blown through that ceiling on his way to 35 today. It's the most points for any Cyclone since Craig Brackens had 42 against the Jayhawks in 2009. Another alley-oop lob. How many times have they done that play today? Well, they've seen something on the film. They said, I think we can exploit the matchup with Ejim, whoever that is, because they've gone right after it all day. 15 of 18 for Melvin Ejim today from the field, 37 points. And some contact down with career high 37 points. You could be looking at this week's player of the week in the Big 12, Melvin Ejim.
Looking at that last play, watch George Niang and how quickly he gets rid of the ball. He sees Ejim wide open. He seals Kavar Shepard and allows him to go basically unhindered to the rim. Ejim soft off the glass.
There have only been 8 40-point games in the history of Cyclone basketball. And LaFester Rhodes, the all-time mark of 54 points once upon a time. Ejim with yet another rebound and another basket. So 9 games now in Iowa State history with 40 or more. 41 and 18. Wow. Getting a little bit of air out of the ball now, wisely so, trying to shorten the game. Ejim. Foul on Ray is his 4th.
Fred Hoiberg played in the NBA, and he knows how to exploit mismatches. And the mismatches, who's ever guarding Melvin Ejim cannot guard him. Melvin Ejim's been able to do whatever, whenever, however he wanted to the whole night. How do you want it? That's what Melvin Ejim is telling him. Getting the ball very successful. He's got that confidence. Only missing 3 baskets today. Amazing performance by Melvin Ejim.
So if he's smart, he will not rub it in on his coach that he's actually outscored Fred Hoiberg in a game.
Taking a look at some of the other plays that's happened today that made Melvin Ejim in his career night. It's been that backdoor lob that they exploited all night long to get him touches. But really, it's just been Melvin Ejim doing what he's done his whole 4 years here at Iowa State, attacking the rim. The jump shot that he's added to his game in the last few years, doing it on the offensive glass. But Melvin Ejim really showing every part of his offensive and defensive game here for the Cyclones.
Well, he's only missed 1 shot in the second half, only 3 shots the entire game. He's 18 of 21. He's perfect at the line. He has 18 rebounds. Running out of superlatives for this kid. Well, I mentioned earlier that we don't talk enough about Melvin Ejim. The whole country is going to be talking about him after today. Oh, he's definitely going to belong to Melvin Ejim. He has scored all 20 of Iowa State's points in that stretch. George Niang finally stops that streak.
And for that can guard someone going in and out, putting the basketball on a string, and then nice finger roll at the rim. George Niang has a skill.
Ejim's hands got that one.
You know, that was a pass by George Niang that Coach Fred Hoiberg would have rather he kept in his back pocket, but when it works, it just shows that everything is going your way for a team.
46 now for Ejim. 48.
about that last play. DeAndre Kane could have easily have scored that. You see he had a one-on-one, but this is love right here. This is all you can say about it. This is love of a team. Why they're so successful. DeAndre Kane, knowing it's a special night for Melvin Ejim, setting him up yet again for another basket so he can get 2 points from 50. A mark that there's not too many players on this planet can say that they've gotten that many points.
Whew. I've run out of superlatives. What a day for Melvin Ejim.
I don't know what's more impressive, the 48 points or the fact that he's only missed 4 shots. But again, a team with the high assist rate as Iowa State, assisting on 62%. And you're seeing that tonight. Majority of the plays today have been assisted upon. It's a team that shares the ball, love each other, trust each other. That's basketball at its best.
Now the 48 points now is the most points ever scored by any player in Big 12 history. The previous record set by both Denny Clemente and Michael Beasley, who played for Kansas State. They each had scored 44. Well, in this one, 48 now for Melvin Ejim.
If Fred Hoiberg is the mayor, Melvin Ejim might be the Secretary of State.
How cool would that be to hear your name chanted by 15,000 people at Hilton Coliseum?
It's an experience really unparalleled to do that and to score these many points and do it. That's a testament to his hard work and a testament to his teammates setting him up, letting him have that special night.
Take a bow, young man. Good for you.
I mean, that right there, that gave me chills just because that's a moment today that he will never, ever forget.
Neither will I. His 48 points, by the way, the second highest point total in Iowa State history. We mentioned LaFester Rhodes with 54. The most points ever scored by anybody in Big 12 history. And Iowa State is going to 18-4 overall and 6-4 in league play. So Melvin Ejim with 48 points and 18 rebounds to lead Iowa State to an 84-69 victory. Now let's send it to Studio 66 with Doug Bell and Brendan Manzer.
Dave, thanks so much. What a day in the Big 12 and the Big 12 Network. Marcus Foster earlier with a great game for Kansas State, but Melvin Ejim joins some elite company, players with 40 points and at least 15 rebounds.
Yeah,
wow.
Great company. What a wonderful performance from a guy who consistently has played at a high level all year. Nobody deserves it more than him. And 48 and 18, that's your Big 12 Player of the Week.
And we'll see him next week.